Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I'm providing the House with an update today on some very disturbing developments regarding health in the Shortland electorate, which is particularly worrying when we're facing a global pandemic. I've recently been contacted by the GP principal of two medical centres, one on the very southern tip of Shortland at Lake Munmorah and one at the northern part of Dobell at Lake Haven. Both of these communities have significant socio-economic challenges, and access to healthcare is of fundamental importance. I'm very concerned that this doctor has been advised of a significant reduction of GPs at these two centres because the area has been reclassified from being a district of workforce shortage area to an MM1 area under the modified Monash model. This means, in the words of Dr Chowdhury, that these areas have a similar classification as metropolitan Sydney, and that this classification is so far removed from the truth that it beggars belief. Both centres are now working with half the number of GPs they had before the change. Dr Chowdhury told me, and I quote, "At our best, both medical centres provided quality medical services. Patients were able to access a GP with waits of no longer than 48 hours. We used to operate weekly diabetic and weight loss clinics, monthly COPD clinics and biannual ABI check clinics. This is now all history. I know our hospital admission rates have increased. We now have wait times of over 2 weeks to see a GP. Due to financial constraints, we have had to further reduce staff and cannot operate our preventative health programs. Further, much to the disappointment of our GPs, who used to pride themselves in offering services at no cost to patients, given the area's low socio-economic demographic, we are gradually introducing co-payments to patients who can barely afford to pay. This is just not on. Lake Munmorah and Lake Haven should in no way have the same GP classification as a Sydney CBD or Rich Mossman or wealthy Bondi. This is utterly ridiculous, and I've written to the Minister asking him to urgently reclassify these areas to their previous designation. Access to healthcare in Australia should be about the need for treatment and not a person's ability to pay for treatment. A great Labor maxim is that your Medicare card should be more important than your credit card. Well, what is happening at Lake Haven and Lake Munmorah is exactly what the Liberal Party wanted when they were first elected in 2013, a Medicare co-payment for some of Australia's most disadvantaged people, and to the end of universality of Medicare. The government needs to urgently change the classifications for these areas to ensure that some of the most disadvantaged people in New South Wales are able to access the treatment they need. I and my Labor colleagues will stand up and defend Medicare. We'll stand up and support GPs and defend bulk billing. Those on the other side are intent on the destruction of Medicare and further disadvantaging people in my community.